have a client who has a special needs kiddo, and she's been listening to her kiddo have a really hard time about herself, about these other kiddos, going to school. So here's a plan that Joan, my client, and I came up with to sit down and have a conversation with her daughter about how she feels about things, how it feels in her body, what she thinks in her mind, what she thinks other people think about her. So they got all of that on the table. And then they talked about how does she feel different? And they got all of that on the table. And then they talked about how does she feel the same? And they put all of those out there. So like they're great, amazing puzzle pieces. And then what they did was they talked about, sorry, I'm distracted by a thing. I know, surprise. They talked about how what she gets to experience in a different way because she is indeed different. Because the point is special needs, neurotypical, good at masking, not good at masking. We are all the same and we are all different. So the part where we can start embedding in our little people that your difference is not a problem, and even finding people who can be not heroes, but people who are like them, that they can see doing amazing things. All right. So what they did was they took all of this information and they dumped it into chat, and they asked chat. Well, first they decided on this. This is what I do with this music that I make out of sessions with myself and others. I decide on what words I want rolling around in my head. And so they put it all into Suno, and they put it into chat. Chat creates the lyrics. Suno can too. It can make up things. I haven't used Suno to make up lyrics for me. So they put it into chat and they said, look, chat, this is the anchor and the hook. Have this woven all through here because these are the words that we want to remember. For me, a lot, I want to remember that I am anchored in the one who always chooses me, that before time began, I was known and I was loved, that even in the middle of this messy middle, it's perfect. Where I am is right on time. I belong to the one who has always chosen me, because these are things that roll around in my head that aren't helpful. Anyway, so they loaded all that in there. They loaded in what they want to roll around in her daughter's head. And then chat came up with these lyrics and they modified them depending on what made their heart so glad. And then they took it over to Suno. Now Suno will put the music behind things. So they took it over to Suno and they asked chat, hey, chat, help me write a prompt for Suno. Because here's something. You can't say to Suno, I want it to sound like Uptown Funk. But what you can do is you can say, hey, chat, you know that song Uptown Funk? Describe it to me. Describe it to me the way that the prompt would be in Suno. Because Suno doesn't want you to use names of people or bands or songs. But you can tell it a story about it, give it the essence, the atmosphere, and chat can help you break that down. So chat broke it down and they loaded into Suno the prompt, and you click create. Now Suno has Suno and chat both have a free version. There's freemium, so you can make a couple of versions of it in Suno without paying. If you want to sell anything, you need to have paid for it. Then you have copyright. Now, anybody can come and they can also remix it because you did not create it. It is not yours. You co-created it. But when you have the copyright, because you have paid for it, you can do a thing that sells it. Anyway, so what they did was they created a song. They created a song for her and they downloaded it and put it on her device, and whenever she's starting to hear it, notice it, because look, friends, if we can get our kids to start to notice these things, they don't have to spend so much time being driven around by trying to mask and hunker down and fit in, because they can have different words than the words that just default in their head to anchor into. So here's what I want to say to you. I have a school club. We are learning how to take the thing that serves us and others and then offer it to others because your overflow was meant to serve other people. You were meant to be so selfish and well resourced. Selfish in that you are rooted first. And what flows out of you flows onto other people. And what usually flows out of us and onto other people is not what we wanted. Know what I mean, Jelly Bean? So come and play with me in my school group. FU Money, it's called. We're learning how to create like digital legacy stuff. And look, if you need it to be all slick, I'm not your gal. But if you want it to be like, my brain works and your brain works, come play. All right? All right. Boop. Also, if you want to go and look at my music channel, it's called Human, Sturdy, Barefoot, ampersand, Holy. Because that's how I feel about us. I am madly in love with your heart.